Have you ever been just really stressed out and you need some suggestions or advice on what to do for a particular situation? So you go out and you ask people for help only to feel like they are slamming the door or they're not responding in the way that you need them to, and you don't feel supported. You're not getting your emotional needs met, and you feel just a little defeated and resentful because you want the person that you just asked for to help you, which is already a vulnerable state of mind, and then they don't actually respond with the way that you were wanting them to, expecting them to, or needing them to. And now you are still left needing emotional support, right? Has that ever happened to you? If you have a loved one with substance abuse issues, this is often a situation that you need because it's so challenging. I mean, it's so hard on us to, deal with the situations at hand. It can cause a lot of fear. It can cause a lot of desperation. And so we do often seek, help and advice from other people, but we're not getting what it is that we need. So here's how to kind of look at this and really be mindful of who we're asking for and what we're asking for of people. So let's just say, for example, that you needed $1,000. You needed to borrow $1,000. You go to someone and you say, can I borrow $1,000? And they're like, ooh, I really actually don't have $1,000 to my name, much less $1,000 to allow you to loan. I just don't have it. Now, our response in these situations is probably like, okay, I totally understand. Thank you. And we move on, right? Yeah, we may feel a little bit more scared and pressure because it's like, well, we did need something, but they didn't have it, and it's totally okay. I'll just have to move on to the next person. And yes, it is hard to like even go ask for that. So when someone says no, we do have some sort of feelings over it, but for the most part, it's like, okay, look, they just don't have it. It's totally okay. We move on. So then we move on to another person, and maybe this person, like, we know they have $1,000. So we ask them and they say, ooh, like, yes, I mean, like, I have $1,000, but it's going to put a lot of pressure on me, a lot of instability for me to loan it to you right now. I just don't know that I can loan it to you without putting myself under more stress and pressure by doing so. So we're like, okay, well, again, that sucks. And we're totally understand. We move on and we finally have to really sit back and goes, okay, who has $1,000 that I can actually loan, that it will not put more pressure on them and more stress on them in order to lend me the money, right? So we go and we ask them and they say yes, and here you go, and we get what we need. And we're like, great, awesome, perfect. The emotional like availability of people is very, very similar, where we can't keep going and asking people who cannot give us what we need. And there's a lot of people, especially when it comes to situations like this, and we're going to family members and we're just wanting them to support us and help us and whatever. And they a lot of times just cannot give us what we are needing. Some of what we are needing is guidance, and guidance comes with experience. And so if they don't have experience, we can't get experience from people that don't have it. Sometimes we need emotional support, and they may be going through some other things that they just can't give you the emotional support that we need in order to support ourselves through this. And yet we keep asking and it doesn't help. So this is what I want us to be mindful of when we're going to people, is making sure that we have people in our lives, friends, family members. It doesn't even have to be friends or family members. It can be acquaintances. It can be strangers. Do you know how many families like I talk to on a regular basis? How many husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, or whatever that I talk to that barely know me, but they feel so much better after talking to me because they actually got the support that they needed. They got the guidance that they needed. And that's all sometimes people really need, is maybe just a step in the right direction, maybe just to feel like they're not alone, maybe just to feel like they're being heard and like someone understands what it is that they're going through. You may not even need necessarily advice, because I don't know that advice is helpful, but I think experience is really helpful. I think understanding what may be going on with your loved one is really helpful. And so I think that when we go and we reach out for help, we have to make sure that the people we're reaching out to can give us what we need. So that's something that I want you to be really mindful of, is creating your support network around the clarity of needing something from people, and then being willing to go ask for the people that can give it to you. And so like if you sit back and you think to yourself, oh no, I don't have anyone in my life that can do that. One, I'm going to say, if you're watching this video, you do, because you already have me, right? You may not know that yet, but you do. Two, if you're uncomfortable with reaching out to me, find other people, groups, find, look, you're not going to have to befriend everyone. And I know that like reaching out to strangers is really, really uncomfortable, but so is the situation that you're in. So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to actually get what you need while you're being uncomfortable, or not getting what you need and continuing to be more resentful, angry, desperate, in a fear, and all of that stuff? Or would you rather step out of your comfort zone a little bit, be a little uncomfortable, but actually get the things that you need to get? So that's something you'll have to ask yourself. So I do want you to remember, though, you do have me. If you're watching this, go check out my website, maniliconsulting.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I post a lot of other videos like that. You can always reach out to me. There is a free call. You can set up a free consult all on your own, just to have a conversation, totally free. You can also just send me an email, Jennifer@maniliconsulting.com. I'm always available to you. What that call will do is you will have a much clearer picture of what your next step for yourself is. So sometimes that's all we need is like, where do I go from here? I'm not saying it will solve all of your problems. There are no silver bullets in this, right? So one conversation won't fix all your problems, but it will help. What is my next best step here to take for myself and for my loved one? And that's what that call will answer. So I invite you to feel free to reach out to me anytime that you need some support. That's what I'm here for. So I hope this was helpful. And I always want to end on this, is to remind you what tough love really is. It is not about being tough on them. It's about sometimes having to make decisions that are tough to do. And with that, you're going to need some support. So make sure that the people that you have in your life are people that can support you in that. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day.